G'day, punters. Welcome back for another episode of The Bagman. I'm joined by my co-host, Luke Hilton, and we are joined by champion, former jockey, and my old man, for those of you that don't know, Malcolm Johnston. We'll bring him in first. Hey, Dad. How you going?
G'day, Blake. G'day, Blake. I'm very well, mate. This is my first time Zooming, so I'm very excited.
Well, we've been waiting for you for about 18 minutes already, so you've put us behind. But I'm going to say hello to Luke Hilton.
Hello,
BJ,
Hildo.
how are you? Hey, Miracle.
Very good.
How are you, mate?
Very good, mate. Very, very good. You look great. The beard looks good.
Yeah, something new I'm trying as I get a bit older. A little bit more hair.
I got
How's it
some
working
news
out for you?
It's not working.
I'm
Before
losing a
we
bit
get
up
into
here,
these
so
races,
I'm trying to get a bit down here.
let's talk about
How's
Canberra and Manly.
Let's not.
Oh, yeah. What a great day to be on the podcast with you two himselves. When Canberra give us a touch-up.
Yeah,
Very
you'd
lucky.
be real happy about that. Yeah. Hey, well, do you think we miss Travorovich? You think we miss him?
How do you say his
We
last
had
name again?
nothing. Travorovich. I don't know. Tommy, I'm going to call him
Turbo.
Turbo. Yeah, we miss Turbo. And we miss
No.
your man.
No worry,
Gary
I was
Cherry,
dead
we
set.
did meet.
I was
miss
ready
him.
to sign up for a new team after last week, trying to support the Raiders this year. It's a punish.
I actually spoke to
Well-
you yesterday before the game, and I said Manly were a bit of unders at $1.20.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, the unders was 49 and I went that way, so it wasn't a bad result. But we couldn't score, Blake.
We could score. We just didn't have the ball.
We did. Oh, no. Don't go there, mate. We're a better side than that.
We didn't have the ball. How many repeat sets did you blokes get? That number 6 of yours, Hildo, he's got a very nice little short kicking game, doesn't he?
Frawley, left foot kicker, he's great, yeah. I think he's a soccer player.
Reminds
That
me
was
of
what he
you
did
back
well.
back at QUADDIE Hill when you used to go around in the number
Yeah.
6.
He seems about as fast as I was.
So is this what you do, just talk footy the whole time?
No, we've
he's
never
talked footy
really-
before.
It's just because Manly played Canberra last night. We'll bounce back
Yeah.
next week, I'm sure of that.
Jenny's about to go here in the first at Scone. She's on $2.10 favourite.
Okay, well, you watch that in the
Needed to
background.
get home.
We've got to get this out before the second at Goulburn because I like one at Goulburn. So
Let's go.
before we kick off, tell us about what you're up to, Dad, and give your tipping service a plug.
Well, actually, our tipping service is going great. I'm really happy with it, Blake. We got the QUADDIE last week and the week before, so we're flying with the QUADDIE. So I'm glad you picked race 7, 8, 9, 10 because I can get Hildo's information and probably put a line through most of them. So that'll cut it down for us, which is really, really handy. But we are going good. Look, if anyone is interested in backing a winner tomorrow, they should give us a call on 0435 954 504. Did you get that number, Blake?
No, that's okay. I'll put it in the bio when I write that up. So
Okay.
repeat it
outstanding.
now and I'll write it down.
0435 954 504. And you will
Okay.
back a winner.
Okay,
Okay.
I've got
And
that.
you'll probably get the QUADDIE. You'll probably get the QUADDIE tomorrow.
All right, I'll
Now
put it in the
we're
bio.
on a-
So if anybody wants to call, they can call you guys tomorrow and get some tips.
Yeah, beautiful. And probably get the QUADDIE.
Do you think we're kicking off? We're going to go through the QUADDIE legs right now.
Yep.
They've put the midway as the first leg of the QUADDIE. That makes things a little bit difficult.
I don't really, for mine, I love one in this race. It's not my best bet of the day, but I really like a Shim in this race. I thought his run was great last start, comes out of a great form race, had a trial since, and his trial was very, very good. And look, I just think he's a really nice horse, and he comes into this race. I think he's perfectly placed. Wet track will definitely suit him, and we're playing on a wet track tomorrow, a very heavy 10. I think it will be, and I just love this horse. I thought his run was very, very good. He's going to box seat from a very, very nice alley, and I want to be backing on this track tomorrow the horse that's going to have the good run or the horse that's going to be in front.
All right, Hildo.
And he's going to have the gun run.
Hildo, I'm bringing you in because you might have something to say about Ashim, considering he's with Matthew Smith. Where does he land on the map, and give us some background on that horse?
Yeah, look, he came to Matt's OTI, bought him out of French Style late last year. And as soon as he turned up, he was a horse that definitely had quality to the eye. He's a really nice horse, and he's just got better and better and fitted into a sort of acclimatised. But he came with a bit of a rap, and he was a really nice horse. Looks a progressive horse. He looks like he's got a good turn of foot for a European. And his first out run, like Mal said, was super. He handled the heavy track. I think the map suits. He's drawn 2. I think he's going to land sort of 2-3 pairs back on the fence. Should be able to hopefully navigate a passage from there. Abdullah, I don't think there's going to be too many disadvantages tomorrow. I think Randwick sort of, when it gets wet, plays pretty fair. If he can get a little bit of luck and get out at the right time, I think I agree with Mal. I think he's the one that I'd really like to play in the race.
I think all three of us agree here. Ashim's mine too. He comes out of that Paper Warrior race. Paper Warrior's won again. Tycoonist has won. Matau Takpi's won. And Taksu's won. So 4 horses out of that race have won. Brenton Abdullah went and rode him in that trial, and he sticks with him. He's already been $16 into $10. He strips fitter for that effort. I know Royal Banquet comes out of that same race. I was thinking that Ashim was really going to hold him, but Royal Banquet was strong late. He gets the blinkers on, but Ashim strips fitter for that effort. Do you think...
what about the speed in the race, Blake?
The speed?
Yeah, I do think... the speed in the race, because I do a bit of form now, and I love doing it, but I really focus on the speed in the races. And I don't think there's a lot of speed in the race. I think Zoracat will lead. If he runs Lord Zoolander, he's going to charge across from 17 Alley. I think Ashim will be just in behind him. Royal Banquet won't be far away from the 12. But I just got a real nice feeling for Ashim. I think he'll beat him home, and he's the one to beat, Royal Banquet.
Yeah, I agree. It could set up as a strong... There could be a strong speed here, because Zoracat's got plenty of speed, but anything with any speed has drawn outside Zoracat. So
correct.
If they want to find a spot, they're going to have to get on their bike early, and it might set up a strong speed. Ashim, only question mark is that good draw. Like, how's the fence going to hold up with the rain predicted? Where's he going to get to? If they're getting down the outside, he's not going to be in the place to be. But we're getting $10 to find out about him, and
100%.
I think he's going to be hard to beat.
I would have loved to have seen the horse at 1,400 this time. I think that's my only negative with him. He just stays at the 13. I think he is a horse that's going to appreciate when he does get to a mile. Probably not going to see the best of him. I just may have loved to seen him, but being on a heavy track, it just might even it out a little bit more and make it a little bit tougher, and maybe he'll come into his forward. I think there'll be enough speed there. You've got Zoracat, you've got Gemahara, who's going to push forward as well, Lord Zoolander. So I think there'll be enough tempo for him to find a nice posse. As you said, Blake, if he can just navigate a passage from that inside draw, he's going to be in the finish.
Now, you first, give us a comment on Bazooka on the 7-day backup. Does he have any hope if he sneaks into the field?
Yeah, without a doubt, Blake, and I think he will get a run because of the conditions tomorrow. And I thought his run last week was very, very solid. In probably a weaker race, but his form was very, very solid. I love David Payne as a trainer, and the 7-day backup, I think 100% will suit him.
Hildo?
Bazooka?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great chance in the race. He gets in. He's handled the the wet track. He's run second at Tycoonist. They beat the rest easy. So he's got to be a live chance for sure.
Are there any roughies that we're throwing in the quaddie? I'm throwing in Not Faint Hearted and McCormack in my quaddie.
Well, I'm throwing a roughie in. Horse called Altimeter, drawn the 1. And a lot will depend on, Blake, the conditions of this track. As you say with Ashim, whether the inside's a little bit vulnerable tomorrow at that stage of the day and they're coming down the outside. They're swooping. Where these horses are going to be in the run, I believe is very important. And I just give it a rough hope.
All right, let's move on to the next. This is the feature of the day, the 8th race. It's a listed race, the Winter Stakes over 1,400 metres. Bandersnatch has been out the gate so far in betting, 450 out to 650. They've really come for Rubisaki, who is a noted wet tracker, 650 into $3.30. Hildo, Bandersnatch controlled the race with Abdullah in the saddle last start. Does he get the opportunity to do the same again?
I think he does. I think he controls the race and gets an easy enough time on his own as well. He'll be able to dictate, and he handles the wet tracks and gets Randwick 1,400, which is always a little bit more difficult than Rose Hill one. But the way he's able to dictate, I think he gets his way in front here. The horse I'm interested in this race, Counter Monte Cristo. He was enormous first up from Singapore. Kobe Jennings rode for Chris Lees in that Adelong race in the June Stakes. Sharply to 1,400 is not always a positive, but with this horse, it does appreciate getting further. Gets J-Mac, draws 9. He's going to sort of be probably 3-4 pairs back with a bit of cover. He really let down the other day, and I think he'll look to do it again tomorrow. Horses like Rubisaki and Tricky Gal obviously get conditions to suit tomorrow. I'm just really interested in this. Chris Lee's runner getting J-Mac.
Yeah, Marlo called Counter Monte Cristo plenty of times in Singapore, and he said that his ideal distance is a mile. So second up at 1,400 metres is perfect for him, and he does get James. So the market's going to like him. Rubisaki, Mal, give us a comment on her. What do you think?
I think she's a very, very, very good mare. Her runs have been very good in Melbourne. Where she gets to in this run, I don't know, Blake. She's going to get back a fair way. I think this is a tough race. I really think there's a few chances in the race. Where she gets to, I don't know. I thought Tricky Gal's run was good the other day. Once again, Matthew Smith. I give a rough hope to order again in the race. I think there's Bandersnatch has gone up 4 kilos, and whether he gets an as easy lead as what he got the other day, I just don't know. I've got a little bit of a question mark on that because I think there's a bit of speed in the race. But I think it's a very, very tough race, and I think it's the toughest leg of the quaddie.
Yeah, I think it's a tough race as well. He goes up 4 kilos. I'm not sure if he's a real wet tracker. So I think if that rain comes, he's going to keep going out in the market, and we're going to get closer to double figures about him. Tricky Gal gets a 2 kilo weight swing on him, and True Detective gets a 4 kilo weight swing on him. I know Tricky Gal's one of yours, Luke, so give us a comment on her.
Yeah, look, she's just mixing a form probably in the last few months, but her run last start was good. She does love a wet track. She gets conditions to suit here. Just I don't know if there's enough tempo for her. She will get back in the run. I'm just not sure whether there'll be enough tempo. I know Bandersnatch will lead. He just could lead at his own leisure. And if that's the way it is, I'd rather sort of find a horse that's going to be a little bit further forward in the race.
I'm going to give a little push for one down the bottom here with Tommy in the saddle. I think Legay Soleil has a good hope. Form 2 back around Lena's Hero is very good for a race like this. Bandersnatch has similar form lines from 2 starts ago as well. She should have won that race on the Kensington track. She had absolutely no luck. She's a real wet tracker. She's had 6 starts on rain-affected tracks for 4 wins. She's gone to Doomben, and she just didn't run on that good track. Coming back to Sydney, she's 49 days between runs, back to 1,400 metres, gets a wet surface, gets Tommy. We're getting $14 or $15 about her. I think she can measure up to a race like that. I think True Detective gives a bit of cheek on speed with no weight on his back. And I'm going to put Ziegfeld in my quaddie as well. I thought he trialled really well on a heavy surface, and he was really well liked by the market in his Australian debut. So a couple of double-figure odds for me. Did you guys find anything at double-figure odds? I'm going to start with you, Hildo.
No, not for me in that race, Blake. Happy to sort of play around. I'm not sure what price County Monte Cristo is now, but he's probably wide enough.
Yeah, I think there's $10 available about him. So
yeah, I'm happy to play him around that price for sure.
And what about you, Mal?
Everybody's going around Rubisaki.
I'm around Rubisaki at the price, but she's going to be very hard to beat. Depends whether the rain falls or not. If it's a heavy 10, she's a $3.30 chance, but if it's a soft 7, she's a $5 chance. So around her at this stage at the price.
Well, I want to be on order again. I think he's a good roughie in the race. I think he'll find the line. Conditions will suit him. Gets through the wet. Absolutely loves it. And Blake, the rain will come. It'll be a heavy 10 there tomorrow. I'm not a meteorologist or whatever you call them blokes, but I'm telling you, the rain will come, Blake. And I think he's a known swooper. And I think there'll be a little bit more speed on in the race than what Hildo thinks. I don't know whether Bandersnatch will get the lead that easy. I think it'll be a very, very good run race. And I think Order Again is a swooper in the race. He's my roughie.
Moving on to the second last of the day is a benchmark 88 over 1,200 metres. Plenty of chances here. Frosty Rocks has been well supported in early markets, 650 into 480. We got 4 at the top of the market here. Frosty Rocks at 480, Iron Power at 480, Ventura Queen at 550, and Madam Legend at $4.80. I'm going to bring you in first, Luke. Does Frosty Rocks take up the running first up from a spell?
Yeah, he definitely does. He only knows one way, Frosty, and he'll roll forward. J-Par, Bjorn Baker, wet tracks, hard, fit. He'll roll forward and take up the lead and roll along at a good tempo. As you said, tough race to dissect. A lot of very even form here, and the market sort of shows that. I'm interested in another Chris Lee's J-Mac horse tomorrow, this Ventura Ocean. Not sure, it was probably... They sent it straight to Brisbane when they got the horse from overseas. I don't know whether they just thought it wasn't as good as what they first thought, but it definitely went well up there. It was in a Class 3 and Class 6, went back to back. Definitely got to step up in grade tomorrow, but I think the horse obviously shown improvement and gets J-Mac. And I'd like to sort of play around it. It's probably short enough in the market, but other than that, it's a tough race.
I'm going to put a little knock on her. I think she's going to be out the gate tomorrow. 2 Queensland wins, comes to Sydney. I know she gets James. She is 112 days between runs. She's had 2 trials. She's trialled average on both occasions. She couldn't get past a Class 1 horse at Scone in that trial. That horse has since got beaten in a Class 1 at Dubbo. So I think the market's going to be against her. I am really keen on one here. You got your 4 in the market. Frosty Rocks is 161 days between runs. Iron Power's 49 days between runs. Ventura Queen's 112 days between runs. And the only one that has recent form, has been to the races recently, is Madam Legend. And she was absolutely outstanding, winning first up off a really good trial. She put a space on Hulk. I know he was unlucky, but she sprinted quickly off a 3-deep run. She had cover. She can strip fitter for that. Her only effort on a heavy track was a Kensington space job. I think she's going to be seriously hard to beat. I think the market is going to be really trending towards her. I think she could possibly, with even no scratchings at the moment, I think she could start with a 2 in front of her. So I'm really keen on her as the best bet of the day. What did you make of this race, Mal?
Well, I agree with you, Blake, and I agree with Hildo as well. I think Frosty Rocks will lead. He only knows one way, go forward. Ventura Ocean, I've got a question mark, mainly wet track question mark. And it's been a long time between runs. I can't come into him at all. I love Madam Legend. Her win was absolutely outstanding. And I want to be on horses that's going somewhere, and I think she is the one. I know she's drawn a bit awkward in 12, but the track will probably be playing a little bit better out wide. So at that stage of the day, so I like Madam Legend, and I thought I Am Power was the one to beat in the race. And again, a very, very tough race. But this stage of the day, we're looking for wet trackers. She gets through it great, Madam Legend. Her form's good. Her win was great the other day. Gets into the race very, very well. And for mine, she's the one to beat.
Yeah, Lesbridge thinks she's a black type mare. She comes into this with no weight on her back with the claim for Brock. I have no problems with barrier 12. She'll cruise forward, and then he's at least got options. If the fence is no good, he can find the middle of the track. I think all of those horses have wet track. Like Ventura Ocean has a question mark over her wet track form. She's been on the soft twice and hasn't run a hole yet. I Am Power improved getting onto a drier surface second up when he won at Rose Hill. That race has produced no winners. So I'm just not sure about that. He has trialled well since on a heavy surface. So I'm not saying that he won't handle it, but I'm not sure about him. And Frosty Rocks, good first up record, good heavy track record, but fresh horses on heavy surfaces, the market usually trends against them. So I think the market is really going to be with Madam Legend, and I do think that she will get the money. The last race of the day is a benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. A bit of money for a few here. Ulysses is 10 into 850. Mateo Atakpi 7 into 6. Charatira 14 into 12. Offshore's been really heavily supported. He's the one the punters want. 750 into $4.40. Hildo, starting off with you. Ulysses has gone back in his first 2 runs this preparation. From barrier 1, inform Regan Bayliss in the saddle. Do you see him finding the front? Does he go forward from the inside draw?
Goes forward. Don't think he finds the front. I think he probably finds leaders back. I think Offshore leads this race, comes across. I don't think, I think they'll, just because he's been a little bit disappointing, Ulysses, in his last run, I think they'll probably adopt to have him ridden a little bit closer and try and change something up with him. And he was pretty keen the other day too. So I think he finds leaders back. Offshore's definitely the one I want to be in the race. I think he dictates from the front. I think he controls the race. He was just nailed the other day by his stablemate in Mado Atakpi. And it just probably gets a little bit far back for mine. And I just think Offshore will get a little bit better run, be a bit stronger tomorrow, and can turn the tables on his stablemate. Obviously, we spoke about Cattle in the last couple of weeks. It's a horse that I really like. I just don't want to play him on these wet tracks. I think he'll probably come out again. He's the horse waiting to get to a dry track, but I don't think he'll be there. And I think Offshore can control the race, stack him up, and it'll be a TC special.
Yeah, I agree. I think Offshore's the one to beat. He gets a 1.5 kilo weight swing on Mateo Atakpi for that Warwick Farm effort last start. He strips fitter. The other horse, his stablemate, had 1 extra run under his belt that day. So Offshore has more improvement in him. I think he's the one to beat, and I can see why the punters are surging towards him. He loves the sting out of the track, and he's going to be up on speed, making his own luck. So hard to beat him. What did you like in the last race, Mal?
We all agree, Offshore. I think he leads from the 13 alley. Timmy Clark loves these sort of horses. I thought his run at Warwick Farm was very good when he got beat by the stablemate, Mado Atakpi. And look, I just think he might be too solid. Catalan, wet tracks, no good. I've been sort of hanging out for it too, but on this track tomorrow, I can't have it. Offshore loves the wet. For mine, he's the best wet tracker in the race, and I think he'll lead all the way.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can single him out in the last race. I am going to give a little push for Charatira. He gets a 1.5 kilo weight swing on Matau Atakpi from that Shadow Crush run 2-back, and he was mixing it with these two offshore and Matau Atakpi this time last year on heavy surfaces. He improved third up behind Mirror Vision, so I think he's going to be hard to beat. It's just whether that barrier 2 is going to be off at the end of the day where he gets to. I'm not sure if that's the right part of the track, but I do think there is a little bit too much between offshore and Charatira in the market in the last race. Any value? Is there anything that you two can see outside of offshore that you sort of want to be including in your quaddie? Starting off with you, Hildo.
Maybe the only other horse, if they do happen to run along and he can probably settle a little bit closer, is maybe Tim's Principle. Doesn't mind a wet track. I think he's been going in the form of his life at the moment. Didn't get a lot of luck the other day at Newcastle. He was wide and was only just beaten by Mother's Mercy, who I think is a really nice horse, and might get his chance tomorrow in town.
And you, Mel?
Smart image, Blake. I'd be throwing it in. Gets through the ground. We'll get back a little bit, but we'll be running on. But I think he'll be given offshore too big a start. But he's a roughie in the race. I would throw in. I don't know what price he is. He's about 8-1, I think. And he's the only one I come up with. I thought 9, 5, 2, and 3 were my chances in the race.
Okay, well, let's round out the bagmen. We're going to do a bagmen quaddie. So I'll start off with Hildo, and then you have a pick, Mal, and then I'll round it out. We'll start off in the 7th race. Hildo, what's your pick there?
I'm happy to be with a shim.
So a shim for Hildo. Mal, what are you picking outside of a shim?
I've got to go Royal Banquet outside of him and Altimeter as my roughie in the race.
You don't get 2 picks. So we're going Royal Banquet. And I'll put in... Yeah, he's already been taken by Hildo.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
that's how you work this.
Yeah, so Hildo, you, and then me.
Yep.
We're going to take 3 in each leg.
All right, Royal Banquet.
Okay, so we got 6-4, and I'm going to put in Not Faint-Hearted, number 1. And then we're moving on to the 8th race. Hildo, you go first.
The 3, Count of Monte Cristo.
3. Now, what do you got for us?
Number 5, Order Again.
5, Order Again. All right, well, I better put the favourite in. 6, Rubisaki. And then on to the 9th race. Hildo?
Ventura Ocean.
Ventura Ocean, number 7. Now?
I've got to go Madam Legend, number 12.
Yep, if you want to have another pick, you can have another pick because I'm happy to go with 2 there otherwise.
Well, no. It's your pick, isn't it? But my other pick would be I Am Power.
Okay, well, I'll put I Am Power in, number 5. Moving on to the last leg. Let's round this out. Hildo.
Offshore.
Offshore, number 9. Mal, what do you got for us?
Number 5.
Number 5, Matau Atakpi.
Yep.
And then the last, I'll put in Charatira. So number 8. So the quaddie is 6, 4, 1 in the first leg. In the second leg, 3, 5, and 6. In the third leg, 7, 12, and 5. And in the 4th leg, 9, 5, and 8. We have less than a minute until our Zoom call runs out because we are not on Pro. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. Hildo, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for coming on the show. Mal, good luck and gamble responsibly. Say goodbye to the punters, boys.
See you, punters.
See you, punters. And thanks for having me on, Blako. And great to see you, Hildo. It's good to see you.
No worries.
You know, at Christmas time, Hildo, you're only supposed to eat a little bit of the turkey, not the lot.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
So, yeah.